But then we get this. We also, a little update here. We talked about the brawl at Giants practice yesterday, and now we get kind of Daniel Jones talking about it, and so we can get a nice little inside look at truly what was going on, because all we just heard was a lot of people were on a lot of people, and Daniel Jones was at the bottom of the pile. So let's see what Daniel Jones says about the altercation that happened at Giants practice yesterday. So Daniel Jones on Brawl at Giants training camp, quote, "I think we've got to do a better job controlling that and making sure that we're controlling our enthusiasm and excitement." And, this just goes back to, that high competitive spirit. Full pads were on yesterday. You've got 90 plus people fighting for 53 positions, and that's basically 45 offense and 45 defense, folks. There's two facets really to the NFL game. And, the defense is trying to make the offense look like garbage by picking them off and not letting them move the ball so they can secure their job on defense. And the offense is trying to, make the defense look trash by making all the completions and all the throws and scoring all the touchdowns and not getting, picked off or anything like that. So, you are a team, but we are kind of a little bit in the individual portion of the NFL season where you're just trying to secure your own spot on the team so you get paid, so you can continue to play, all of that stuff. So it does get a little bit heated. Yes, you're kind of a family, you're a team, but you're also kind of looking out for numero uno out there securing your spot. So things do get, chippy and brutal every now and then. But let's see what Daniel Jones is saying here. So here we go. Yeah, we'll just start at the top here. Here we go. All right. Things got chippy. No, extra chippy on the first day of the New York Giants strapped on the pads, and second-year coach Joe Judge wasn't having any of it. A full team brawl broke out with starting quarterback Daniel Jones ending up beneath the scrum. The sequence began with a lengthy run by running back Corey Clement. All right, that's good. We got Corey Clement coming into his own here, and because we know Saquon Barkley is taking a little extra long to get back on the practice field, so backup running back here, Corey Clement is doing solid. That's always good to hear. All right, tight end Evan Ingram took exception to a hit by Jabril Peppers, according to the New York's Post Paul Schwartz. From there, Logan Ryan took exception to Ingram's actions, and the battle royal was on. Jones reportedly inserted himself into the mix after it had already broken out. So Daniel Jones trying to be a little bit of a leader out there, be like, hey, y'all stop it. But they never listened to him, and then they just kept fighting, and then Daniel Jones ends up at the bottom of the pile. So if you want to read too much into this situation, maybe Daniel Jones isn't that much of an authoritarian leader out there. He's not able to break up the guys. They're not listening to him. They don't respect him. If you want to read that much into it, you could potentially come up with that. I don't know if I believe in that, but that's just something you can look into. We'll see. All right, a furious Joe Judge then lined the team up for gassers, then put them through a series of push-ups while reportedly spewing a profanity-laced tirade. High school-like discipline, to be sure. All that was missing were field-length crab walks. Quote here by Daniel Jones. There's consequences for that kind of stuff, and that's the way it is in the game. If you lose your cool, there's consequences, and that hurts the team. So that was the message, and everyone understands that. So that's great by Joe Judge, kind of truly taking full control of this team, taking full reins and control of this team. Joe Judge, the special teams coordinator for the Patriots a couple of seasons ago, the man's no nonsense, it seems. So once again, we saw this story yesterday. It all seemed not good, but we're kind of getting some good things out of this. Corey Clement, he basically began the brawl because the man was, being great on offense, and then Evan Ingram get a little bit of a shot by Jabril Peppers because maybe Jabril Peppers was a little upset that his defense was getting ran on all day long by not Saquon Barkley, and that's what started the brawl. So Corey Clement, congratulations on being good, and then Joe Judge, congratulations for just being a real solid head coach. You could have let this play on, you could have let this go and not taken full command of your team, but maybe now the team is better for it, now that everyone's back in place. this shouldn't be kind of held against anybody. I would say, like we said, things just get chippy out there. It's unfortunate, but you got grown men fighting for millions of dollars, fighting for fame, and fighting for what they basically the only thing they do. And that's not a knock. I'm not knocking these people, these athletes. It's fantastic, but they've been practicing and training their entire lives to do this. This is like, they can't just have a fallback job. I mean, most athletes don't finish college with a degree and are like, you know what, I'm going to actually do this. It's like, well, I'm going to play football because that's why I'm here in college, because I got the scholarship and I am a prospect and I am going to make millions of dollars in the league. So this is basically kind of all they do a little bit. So you got just all that going on in a kind of alpha male dominated sport in football. It's physical contact. Everyone wants to prove they're the greatest of all time. Everyone wants to prove they're the best. And, you got 90 of those people all in the kind of same like-mindedness that, it goes off sometimes. So great for Joe Judge to kind of, take control of the team after it all broke out. And let's read these last two quotes here to see if it settled down and everything's kind of back to normal. So here we go. All right, the best news to come out of the fracas was that Jones, the number 6 overall pick of the 2019 draft, managed to come away unscathed. Yeah, truly, when you got your quarterback at the bottom of the pile, I would be pretty much as upset as Joe Judge was, because we're expecting big things out of Daniel Jones. We're expecting a Josh Allen 2020 season for Daniel Jones in 2021, and if he's injured, you can't be having that season. So we can understand Joe Judge's kind of excitedness, to say the least, about this team in the skirmish. All right, Jones said he was, quote, fine after being piled on and didn't feel the need to shy away from the melee despite being the team's starting quarterback. Quote, I'm part of the team and part of the offense, and we're competing, so I don't see myself separated from that. And once again, we're loving that. Daniel Jones truly being the leader out there. Hey, I'm not just, okay, I'm the quarterback, I'm delicate, you can't touch me, I'm not going to get it. I'm on the team, y'all. I'm this team. I'm kind of the commander of this team. I'm the field general. I am the one that basically everyone has to respect, because if you don't respect the quarterback, I mean, the team will not succeed. So Daniel Jones just trying to kind of be the man out there and try to settle it down himself. I've got no problem with that. So yes, optically on the outside, this brawl looked real bad yesterday, but honestly, when you kind of dig deep into it, it kind of just seems real good. Everyone just trying to, be their best, people just trying to be a leader, and, Joe Judge taking the reins. So, I mean, honestly, this is kind of a good thing, honestly. I think this is actually good, and it may actually kind of make us buy the Giants just quite a little bit more. Not too much, because Saquon Barkley is still not out there, so that's a big red flag for us still. But just the pure competitive nature, I think I can get behind it. So not all bad here for this Giants brawl. All right, if Judge's response had the intended impact, any tension in the locker room should subside pretty quickly. And once again, the respect of Joe Judge. He got on their ass, and they're kind of going to respect him if the locker room, subsides pretty quickly. The tension in the locker room subsides pretty quickly. Last quote here by Daniel Jones. Here we go. We were just competing and everyone was excited first day of pads, like we said. I think we've got to do a better job controlling that and making sure that we're controlling our enthusiasm and excitement. And just kind of, folks, this is just classic right here. The clickbait headline was that quote right there. I think we've got to do a better job controlling that and making sure that we're controlling our enthusiasm and excitement. And it was literally kind of, the worst quote, like the one that had really kind of nothing to do with it, and it was put at the very end. Like, we got way more out of the other quotes on what kind of people were kind of feeling about the competitive nature, first day of pads, leadership, and all that. So it's just classic, journalism, if you will. So always got to read the articles, and always kind of got to, decently read into it. Don't read too much into it. What was the first thing that we read? That Daniel Jones wasn't respected because he was thrown at the bottom of the pile. So you can read into things, but not too much. And I think we can like this Giants team a little bit more now. Real solid leadership right there. Real great competitiveness all around.